Hello class, I just wanted to reconnect with you regarding a couple things that are going to be going on this week and next week regarding the class. This is take 2, by the way. I talked too much last time and I went over 10 minutes by 3 seconds, and of course YouTube doesn't take any videos over 10 minutes. So here's part 2. I should be more efficient and perhaps less pauses. Okay, so the reason why I want to talk to you is because, first of all, the first posting opportunity came and went. It went, for the most part, very well. If there's something that can be improved on, it must be improved on for future posts. It's that all communication among the group members has to be on the discussion board, so we have something to go by when we're trying to determine participation. A few of you may have been participating via email and text, and maybe on Facebook, but when it comes down to grading you for participation, we don't look at those avenues. We only look at really the discussion board or what's on Blackboard. So what I need you to do for a second, third, fourth, and fifth post is just communicate with your group about the assignment and the work that you do over the discussion board, so we have a record. I'm sure you understand from our perspective where we're coming from. That's the only way efficiently we're going to be able to determine who participated and who did it. So please keep that in mind. Second, we are going to change up the way that you do the final posting. Remember last time you guys deliberated and discussed within your small groups, and then you did your final post up on the big discussion board. And we're actually going to change that from now on. And the change is going to be this. First, your assignment itself is actually going to be in your group discussion board. So you just click on, you go to your group, go to the discussion board, you'll see 2 new posts. The first post will say posting number 2 discussion, and this is just your discussion on the assignment, and the assignment is cut and pasted right into that discussion board. So that's what we will have to do from now on, is cut and paste as opposed to uploading documents. Sorry about that, but that's just the way that this new discussion board works. So you'll see the assignment for posting 2. It's a part 5 assignment, which I'll talk about in a little bit. And so the deliberations, on this post there might be 50 entries, and it might be 50 entries because there's 10 of you and you each said something 5 times. So that's fine. This is the back and forth. Here's my part, here's your part, and then what do you think about this, or I think you're wrong here, etc. So that's the back and forth. On the second form, it says posting number 2 final product, or posting number 2 final paper. There should only be 1 posting on this, and that's by the group leader, and that's when you're finished, the final one. You could turn it in early if you'd like, it doesn't matter. But that is reserved for the final posting, so there should only be 1 post under that form. Okay, so no more big discussion group. I'll keep that open for housekeeping issues, or if you have a general question for me, I'll keep that open and I'll look at that, but I know a lot of you email me if you have a general question as well. But you might want to post it on there because maybe other people have the same. That's the good thing about having that for housekeeping issues. Oftentimes you're not the only person with the one question. If you're thinking about it, then other people probably are too. So keep that in mind. Again, so for posting opportunities, I keep calling them posting opportunities. Sorry, they're required in this class. For posting 2, 3, 4, and 5, it's all within your own group discussion board. Okay, no more big discussion board for the final product. And I think why, as we get to subsequent posts and some of the answers get more black and white, I think this will really mitigate some potential issues that we can have if you just upload your answers and then they're for the entire class to see. Now the second posting opportunity is a 5-part worksheet. Part 1 is hypotheses, creating hypotheses. Use 2 variables per hypothesis, and I want 3 of them. Part 2 is conceptualization, operationalization. You select 2 out of the 4 concepts, and you conceptualize them, which is a fancy term for define very specifically, and then you tell me how you're going to measure that or operationalize that. For example, political party and religiosity is probably pretty straightforward compared to feminism and altruism. But remember, your operationalization wants to fall very closely from your conceptualization. Okay. Part 3, units of analysis. Pretty straightforward. Sometimes students get tripped up with this. Just remember, we're seeking to emulate the hard sciences, right? Hard sciences have categorized different things that they analyze, molecules and atoms and so on and so forth. And that's what social scientists want to emulate. That's what we're trying to do. So we look at categories, we look at things like cities, we look at news shows, we look at individuals, what is the thing that we're analyzing, and that's a unit of analysis. Sometimes it's hard to determine, sometimes it could be individuals or groups, and that's okay to put that, because you don't know, because you don't have the data set sitting in front of you for this assignment. So if you're unsure and you're like, well, it could be groups, it could be individuals, depending on the data, go ahead and say that. Okay, go ahead and say that. Part 4 is validity and reliability. I think this is the most difficult. Construct validity. Okay, I have 2 PDFs that kind of do like a flow chart of construct validity. I think it's very important. It could be helpful if you try to understand it that way. But you're trying to assess those 4 things and whether those 4 questions together on a survey, for example, have construct validity. Okay, do those 4 questions about the war in Iraq have construct validity for attitudes about the war in Iraq? Okay, and then you assess that by going through the exercise that I show you on the PDF and I talk about in the slides. And then content validity remembers the pie. Okay, it's the pie. And does each part of the pie, is it the full pie, is it only half a pie, or how much of the pie is being represented? And then I also, using those 4 same questions, want you to assess them for reliability using 2 different methods that we talked about in class. I think we talked about 4 or 5 of them. And then part B is validity only. How would you assess whether A prime has construct validity for A? A is attitudes towards Hillary Clinton. A prime are questions measuring attitudes towards Hillary Clinton. It doesn't matter really what those specific questions are, even though I gave you specific questions in the example before. It could just be questions about Hillary Clinton. What's the first thing you have to do? You have to find a B. Okay, what could possibly be related to somebody's attitudes towards Hillary Clinton? Think about it. Go with it. Do the exercise, okay, that I go through in the audio lecture. And of course, part 5 is level of measurements. I think this is pretty clear. The example of people's responses, if you would kind of look at these 10 things, or 6 things rather, as like questions on a survey, and then in parentheses are people's responses. And if you have that information, then you should be able to determine what level of measurement these things are. Now, level of measurement is important because the higher we go up from nominal, interval, ordinal to ratio, the more sophisticated type of analyses we can conduct. Okay, so you always want to strive for the highest level of measurement possible, given the constraints of your data. Okay, so it's better to go higher, if you will, if possible. Sometimes it's impossible and you can't, but sometimes you can change the level of measurement for a variable. And so that would be posting 2. That's not due till September 20th. Your first quiz, however, is due Wednesday, September 15th. It'll be made available Tuesday morning, 5 a.m. I'll give you the study guide for the test, so you'll just look at the chapters 1 and 2. I'll post that tonight or tomorrow. Somebody had emailed me about that. Somebody else emailed me about not having a grade for their post yet. I'll look at that. Maybe we missed you. I'm not sure. Maybe there's a valid reason why you don't have a grade, but I'm going to look into it and I'll get back to you today or tomorrow. I'm trying to think if there's anything else I want to say. I can't remember. I think that's about it. If there's questions on the new rules, please let me know ASAP and I can clarify things for you. And don't forget about that quiz, due Wednesday night, 11 p.m. Anything else, let me know. I'll get the study guide to you in no time. Thanks.